Yes, welcome back once again. It's as to my channel. Thank you for watching the videos that I've been posting. As today I'm going to take you through about the sources of information. What are the sources of information? How do I attain it? How do you obtain the sources of information so that to make our work better as we are doing our presentation or writing an essay or writing a report, writing a research work, coursework, and other things. What are the information sources? In my slides I'll get the information sources. What is it? What is the information, by the way? You have to first get the definitions, the types of information sources. You get to understand them better if you try to explain to your understanding. Get the characteristic of information sources. Then you get the example of information sources, purpose of information sources. How important is this to your working? How best can you use it to assess what you want to get in the near? You have the types of information sources. You have the primary types, then you have the secondary type. The primary type is this is the direct piece of evidence created at the time of event as the primary source of information that you attain during the creation of events, that time of creation. Then you have the secondary source. This interprets, analyze, and summarize primary sources. You find out the secondary source interprets and talks more about the primary sources that you have obtained. Those information that you have got in the primary sources are the primary sources that are later explained in the secondary sources of information that you have obtained. Find in my fourth slides talking about the characteristic of information sources. What are these characteristics of the primary source? And a primary source, we have what are the characteristics of primary sources? Of the originality, it's always original. Find out the information you get is from original source. There's raw data, it's what actually it's processed to understandable, and immediate evidence. There's clear evidence that you always attain as they are obtaining resources. Then there's time related, the related time of obtaining the source. You have the secondary source. What are the characteristics of the secondary sources? It is interpretative. Find out the information you have obtained. It is easy to interpret, easy to evaluate, summarize, and then contextual. Find out the information you have got is easier to interpret by yourself and also evaluate it to your understanding. To my fifth slides, find out that we have the example of information sources. Under primary, you have the documents, the creative works, the artifacts, and you have the scientific data, those data that you receive from other studies that you obtain by yourself. The documents, those creative works that people always make online, or books that they write. Then under secondary source, we have the books, the journal articles, documents. Then we have other essays and reviews of work that you are always going through by yourself, other studies and other material that you obtain by yourself as after reading different sources of information that you obtain. And in my sixth slide, we have the purpose of information sources. We have the primary. Under primary, we have the raw evidence, we have the research foundation. Everything you find in this is always evidence from whatever you got, the purpose of the information that you have got. You have the raw evidence, you have the research foundation, you have the insight into context, the direct connections, something that is more evidence to yourself as you are reading this information. We have the secondary source, we have the contextualization. Its context is more understood by yourself. The context is always clear. And a secondary source, you can easily interpret, broader understanding. You understand it deeper and deeper, so that it's easier for you to analyze everything that comes as you're reading the book or the journal, the articles. In the last slide, you have find the definition of all these material records. You have the provide data, you have the particular subjects. You have to find the research of you are going to make. You have the particular subject. You have to provide enough data, the material, the required material recorded, so that it's easy for you to understand yourself better as you're doing your research work. Thank you for watching. Going to encourage you to watch, subscribe, and like. Leave a comment in the comment section box, and leave a question of your favorite choice that you may want or wish to ask, be able to attend to you. Thank you.